chosen one. There are some things you were never supposed to find out, but heaven is revealing them now. Not to scare you, but to confirm what your spirit already sensed. Someone tried to take you out. Someone tried to destroy you, silence you, stop your destiny. They were desperate, reckless, and bold enough to move against a person God personally assigned angels to protect. They didn't just cross a line, they declared war on heaven without realizing it. There were people who studied you, watched your every move, waited for the right moment to strike. They thought your silence meant weakness. They thought your kindness meant vulnerability. They thought your isolation meant you had no protection. But what they didn't know is that you walk with a covering they cannot see. You walk with authority they cannot comprehend. You walk with a calling they cannot touch. And because they didn't understand that, they tried something dangerous, something dark, something that should have worked. If you were ordinary, they plotted behind your back. They planned in the shadows. They whispered your name in rooms you weren't in. Some of them even teamed up because alone they feared you, but together they felt brave. They wanted to ruin your reputation, ruin your finances, ruin your relationships, ruin your peace or worse. But let me tell you something that will shake you to your core. They couldn't take your life. Not because they didn't try, but because heaven rejected the attack. The arrow was released, but it didn't reach you. The trap was set, but you never stepped into it. The curse was spoken, but it bounced back instantly. God blocked every single hit before it could land, and now, the same ones who tried to destroy you are facing consequences they never saw coming. They thought they got away with it. They thought nobody knew. They thought their masks were convincing. But God was watching everything. God documented everything. God is dealing with everything they did, even the things you never heard about. Some of them are scared right now, but hiding it. Some are acting normal, but their conscience is tormenting them. Some are losing sleep because they know what they did. And some listen carefully are already under investigation. Files are being opened. Information is being exposed. What was hidden is coming to light. And for some of them, prison is not a metaphor. It's literal. When God said they're going to jail, He meant consequences are unavoidable. When God said they couldn't take your life, He meant their attempt sealed their own fate. When God said He could take theirs instantly, He meant He could strip away everything they relied on opportunities, influence, reputation, connections, comfort until they face what they did. But listen closely, chosen one, because what's unfolding now is not coincidence. Heaven is moving. Justice has begun. And the same people who once whispered about you are now whispering about their own fear, because they know they crossed a boundary that heaven does not tolerate. Some of them are already feeling it, doors closing in their lives, opportunities drying up, unexpected losses hitting them one by one. They think it's bad luck. They think it's karma. They think it's random. But you and I both know exactly what it is. Divine consequence. God warned them to leave you alone. God gave them chances to stop. God nudged their spirit, their intuition, their conscience. But they kept going. They pushed anyway. They acted as if they were untouchable. And now, the same hands that tried to sabotage you are bound by their own actions. They can't reverse what they did. They can't outrun the evidence. They can't silence the truth. They can't protect themselves from the spiritual backlash. They created a storm they are now standing in the center of. And heaven is making sure they face every drop of it. Some of them thought they could frame you. Some thought they could blame you. Some thought they could slander you until nobody believed your voice. But they underestimated how God defends His chosen. Because the moment they touched you, God touched their plans. The moment they cursed you, God cursed their schemes. The moment they planned your downfall, God scheduled their exposure, and exposure is already happening. People who supported them are stepping back. People who believed their lies are noticing inconsistencies. People who once sided with them are suddenly uncomfortable. Why? Because your glow, your elevation, your resilience is telling the real story. People can see the truth now. They see who collapsed under the weight of their own darkness, and who rose with divine protection. Chosen one. You don't even realize how many traps were set for you. You don't know how many conversations included your name with bad intentions. You don't know how many times someone tried to spiritually attack you, only for it to backfire immediately. They tried to stop your progress. They tried to steal what was never theirs. They tried to break a soul God personally strengthened, and in doing so, they signed their own judgment. Some of them are terrified now. Some are panicking. Some are praying. Not because they love God, but because they're scared their punishment is coming. And they're right, because when you target a chosen one, judgment is guaranteed. Here's the part that will shock you. For some of these people, jail is not symbolic. There are literal investigations beginning. There are witnesses coming forward. There are situations unfolding that they can't control, can't hide, can't manipulate. The same energy they use to plot against you is the energy circling back to confront them. Files are resurfacing. Secrets are leaking. People are talking. Their own actions are testifying against them, and God is letting you see the edges of what's happening, not to make you vengeful, but to make you aware of who you were truly dealing with. You weren't paranoid. You weren't overreacting. You weren't imagining things. Your spirit was warning you the entire time, because God knew danger was walking around wearing familiar faces. And this next part is something you must understand. You didn't win because you fought harder. You didn't win because you were lucky. You won because God stood between you and what was meant to destroy you. Heaven stepped in before you even knew you were in danger. And now heaven is stepping in again, not to protect you from them, but to protect the world from them. You are entering a chapter where you will watch people fall into the pits they dug for you. And it won't be your doing. It won't be your hands. It will be divine law balancing itself. When your life is an assignment from God, anyone who tries to end it becomes a problem heaven immediately removes. So lift your head. Chosen one, you survived what was designed to kill you. You outlived the lies. You outlasted the attacks. You outran the traps. And now you're stepping into a season where God is not just protecting you, He is avenging you. And the ones who tried to take your life, they will face consequences they can't pray their way out of, lie their way out of, or escape their way out of, because the truth is simple. They couldn't take your life, but God can take everything from theirs.